But before we go into that and go into your previous experience as well, tell me one thing about your upbringing which reflects on who you are today.
Yeah, I'll start with my origin. I am natively from Albania, moved to the US when I was only 15, broke free from a civil war that was happening currently in the country. My dad being the main initiator, trying to have his visa, all the ways that he figured out how to do that and keep his family safe and bring them over here. It was always his dream, the American dream. We always heard about America being the most developed country, but also being the country where there was a lot of opportunities which were missing there. The life started here at 15. I ventured into school and all of that. I had studied English and I just automatically became the parent because obviously I saw very early I was the oldest child. So I had to pretty much grow up very fast, translate for my siblings, problem solve in the family, get my first jobs, pretty much contribute my whatever I was making to the home. My parents didn't speak the language. They were obviously working very hard, couple of jobs. That experience early on just taught me how to problem solve, which is now I see it's a great gift and skill, especially in entrepreneurship, where really literally our job description is a problem solver. And then I also pursued the American dream. One of the things that my dad instilled in me when I first came here was we got to be successful. There's a lot of opportunities here and achievement. I was praised for achievement there very early on. So I followed that blueprint. I got my bachelor's and then climbed the corporate ladder. I happened to be for a Fortune 500 company that was in growth mode at that time. So I just kept getting promoted every couple of years, always learning, growing, and being an entrepreneur read under a company, which was a corporation, which at that time I didn't know that. And my catalyst to entrepreneurship was where the company was acquired by another company and the culture turned very profit driven. And I no longer saw obviously a focus on growth for the people that were there. So I just read the silver lining. And at that time, I also had some intuition coming toward my way through an inner voice that I was supposed to change trajectory. Obviously, I didn't know what I wanted to do through just learning and growing, aligning myself with people in the world and learning and growing through podcasting, which is why I love the channel podcasting because that opened up my mind to a whole new world. I didn't know what else I wanted to do. And I just started to tap my feet into entrepreneurship and then started offering something that I was familiar with, which was a coaching for women leaders. Because I actually had moved all the way to the C-suite at that point. So I had seen all the phases and stages of growing a company, and my strength was leadership because one of the things that I did really was developing top talent and high engagement scores, whether it was customer engagement scores or team engagement scores. So that's what I did is I built my business slowly. I still was working. And then when I felt comfortable enough to make the leap and realize that, oh my gosh, it's amazing because for an overachiever like me, when you give me no ceiling and limit, it's almost like that's my playground. And
Mm,
entrepreneurship is that where there's no ceiling. I can dream a big vision. I can explore myself every day. I can contribute beyond myself with other people. So to me, it just connected a lot of different important values or common points that I cared about. And I just, yeah. And ever since I've been doing this, which is now 5 years, I've never looked back. And I just look at my transformation and it's
mm,
amazing
mm.
to understand. And I almost go back and forth to say that I was born an entrepreneur because I realized that I am, very entrepreneurial, even in the way that I think
Okay.
and the resource.
Okay, we've covered a lot of areas which we're going to talk about in this conversation. So things like your experience of Walgreens, setting up the business, entrepreneurship, how you develop that. We're going to cover all of that in this episode. But thank you for giving me that summary.